The honor of serving as student commencement speaker is awarded by the graduates themselves and by the university faculty. Representing the class of 2020, I am pleased to introduce two student speakers this year. The second student speaker is Miss Emily Schlepp. Emily earned her BA in English Literature with a minor in Theater Arts. She was involved in 5 drama productions with Northwest, including the unfinished spring of 2020 show, Cinderella. She spent 4 years living in the same residence hall on campus, and she believes she single-handedly kept the airy coffee shop in business by her frequent morning visits, ordering a mocha with extra whipped cream and a blueberry muffin to go. Emily, known by many classmates and professors as Schleppy, adored her academics. Some of her favorite classes were Irish poetry with Dr. Jeremiah Webster and literary theory with Professor Joseph McQueen. She also involved herself in student life, spending 2 years as a resident assistant on campus. As a senior English major, Emily wrote a 20-page senior paper centering on characters from Charles Dickens' notable novel, Great Expectations. Emily plans to take a gap year before teaching abroad and then apply for graduate school.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily Schlepp and I'd like to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to visit this site to join us in celebrating all of Northwest University's graduates of 2020. I deeply wish we could all be together in person, as speaking through a screen is never the same, but I suppose having 4,000 fewer people in this room is kinder on my nerves. This past fall, 3 days out of my week, my childhood asthma would resurface as I left myself about 4 minutes to trek all the way up the hill of our campus to my class in the beloved Barton Building. Quite literally, the peak of my education. It was in a small classroom in the East Wing that one of the wisest men I know presented my class with a simple question: what is the refrain of your life? In times of prosperity or hardship, joy and sorrow, what is your mantra, your motto, the resounding sentiment that keeps you moving? Perhaps you turn to iconic figures of success like, say, Walt Disney, and tell yourself, if you can dream it, you can do it. Or like characters Donna Meagle and Tom Haverford from NBC's Parks and Recreation, you always tell yourself to treat yourself. Or maybe, like my mother, you remind yourself of the proverb, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Whatever it may be, the words we choose to wash over us in times of rest or desperation mean more to us than we think. But in a time like the present, in a world threatened by COVID-19 and countless displays of injustice and hatred, in a world when everyone has been forced to a standstill and everything looks so fallen, what do you say then? I imagine that, like me, all of you have experienced a myriad of emotions in the last several months. And for most of that time, in the pain that you feel, the answer you seek is not some catchphrase to help you endure. No, we seek something deeper, something of substance, of healing and hope. To be honest, I felt a kind of pressure in writing this speech to address you all, especially concerning the extraneous circumstances. It seems to me that society often turns to the poets, the artists, the readers and writers, people who I've decided to identify myself with, to share some kind of muse-given wisdom, to provide a balm for the world's wounds. Words in themselves, however, can only do so much. In speaking these words of comfort over ourselves and others, we are also presented with the temptation to distract ourselves from grief, to keep a positive mindset and not take time with suffering. We forget to wrestle, to cry, to feel pain. But however you decide to package up encouragement, as playwright Deborah Brevert puts it, you cannot reason with grief. It has no ears to hear you. But feeling grief does not mean you cannot also feel hope. By living as academic people of faith, we not only have the beauty of articulate speech and the knowledge of technical prowess, but the substantive weight of tangible, lasting hope and faith to support it. This faith doesn't just add to the way I speak and what I write, it's the source of the words in themselves. Now it has taken me time to discover my own refrain. No words seemed to fit the bill or to really provide what I needed, but it was in this moment that I realized when words falter, the God who calls himself the Word is speaking to our souls despite our lack. In this time, My refrain echoes the words of Psalm 73. But as for me, it is good to be near God. In a perfect environment for isolation, these were the words I needed, the truth that I hold close. In a world that feels suffocated by darkness and dampened by the fog of fear, we have something to cling to, refrains of hope, words we can speak over ourselves, reverberating with substance. Now, renowned author, philosopher, and educator C.S. Lewis notes that human beings are not separate. They look separate because you see them walking about separately. But it would look like one single growing thing, rather like a very complicated tree. Every individual would appear connected with every other. A speech is also as good a place to offer thanks to the many people who've made my experience and countless others meaningful. I cannot even begin to call out those people by name, but I will anyways. Thank you to our faculty, from the deep souls of Dr. Jeremiah Webster and Dr. Carrie Brodeen, to the admirable wit of Drs. Blaine Charette and Clint Bryan, to the creative geniuses of Professors Crystal Helmke and Lene Nofziger. These are just a few people who have influenced my experience, but I encourage all of you to look through the list of faculty and offer a more personal thanks to each of those who have added to yours during your time at Northwest. Thank you to every faculty member for pouring out your heart and soul into your work. We are better for it. Thank you. To our staff, to the mentors and leaders and counselors, you may feel as though your hard work goes unnoticed at times, but we clearly feel the effects of all you do. Every department, from Mosaic to Res Life and Housing to Student Government, thank you for ensuring that each one of us can call a new home. And a special thanks to Emily, Clayton, and all of the library staff that work so hard to make sure that nerds like me are well taken care of. And thank you to all the leadership of Northwest University. It has been a privilege to study and grow in a place that so consciously aligns the life of the mind with that of the heart. Thank you for your consistency and hard work for us as a student body. And finally, I hope all of us will take the time to thank our family and friends, those who have emotionally, financially, and spiritually supported us. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I wouldn't be standing here without you. Now, to my fellow graduates, when you are congratulated, whether electronically or in person, I hope that you do not take it lightly or try to brush it off with oh, it was nothing, because we both know that's not true. Let us take time to recognize the affirmation of a job well done. To my classmates of all fields of study, both graduate and undergraduate students, full-time, part-time, transfers, international, and online students, you did it, and take it how you will. Maybe your proudest accomplishment was receiving a certification declaring your excellent work. Or maybe it was becoming enchanted by literature or enthralled by science. Perhaps you gained some friends, grew as a person, or discovered more about God. Whatever it is for you, truly, congratulations. Thank you for your endurance. Thank you for your grace. And thank you for your joy in the midst of trials. In conclusion, I pray that in celebrating our greatest accomplishments and blessings, we recognize their singularity of source. Let us turn our eyes toward the founder and finisher of our faith, the one in whom we live and move and have our being, ultimately praising him for the work he has done through us. I would like to read the benediction prayer in farewell from Numbers chapter 6. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Thank you.